I'm going to introduce you. And I'm going to ask you about your feelings. Hi, everybody. Let's get started. Because it is sunny and almost 70 degrees outside. This will not go for long hours. I'm going to try to get us out of here quickly because I have some miles to run and I want to enjoy that. So if it gets late and you guys are like, shut it down, please just tell me and I will shut it down. Right? My name's Scott. I'm the adult tennis manager over at Whack Lake Country. This is the third of a series of sort of career development program I've put together. Next to me is my friend Ray Lee. If you don't know Ray Lee, you need a Ray Lee in your life. She does everything. That's the reason she's here. She's going to tell you her story in a little bit and help me with some of these things. To catch you up a little bit, the purpose of putting these together is basically, as simple as I can make it, is to get everybody who participates a job that they want. If you're not in a position you are or you don't like now, let's get you in something else. And how do you do that, right? You love your job, but you've hit the highest point you can hit in your department. What else is there? Is there another step, whether in the WAC or outside of the WAC? So we will talk about if you leave this place, right? And so that's sort of the reason of it, because not everybody here has been to all of them, and that's fine, but that's where this started, was me having experiences with employees who get to a certain point and they're stuck, or they get to a certain point and they just leave and they don't tell anybody. And we didn't know that they wanted more. They wanted to grow. They wanted to learn more. They wanted to take my job, whatever it was. So we're going to make references to if you want to be a GM someday. If you want to take Ann's job. Last time I asked this group how many people wanted Ann's job, and everybody said, heck no, right? It's a big job being the GM, right? But do you want to lead your department? Do you want to switch from one department to another? You're interested in something else. And how do you do that within this club? And then, like I said, if you'd like to leave this place someday, I'll be honest, I don't think this is my last stop, right? It might be. You might know me when I'm 90 years old and being pushed around a tennis court. But always looking, and I'll tell you the quick story about where this actually came from, 100%. We had a coach on our staff who I've known since he was this tall. I gave him tennis lessons when he was a kid, right? He became a coach, certified. We hired him, has been on staff for 2 years, and we got his 2 weeks notice one day. No idea. Took another tennis job at a somewhat of a competitor of ours, which is fine. It's a good club. But he didn't tell us. And he should have. I felt guilty. I felt bad. I took it personally that he wasn't comfortable enough to come to myself or any of our staff, our other tennis managers, and just say, I got this opportunity. I'd like to explore it. Can you guys help me? And I would have said, absolutely, let's go. And encourage him to ask the right questions. He ended up leaving, taking this job. And after he took it, he asked me all these questions. It turns out he never asked his current employer. He didn't know who his direct supervisor was. He didn't know what his title was. He didn't even know what his role was. He didn't know if he had insurance, benefits, 401ks, education expenses, uniform help, nothing. He asked none of the important questions. And it bothered me because we didn't create a situation where he felt like he could come to us for that, right? If he would have come to us, I would have told him, ask all these questions. Call the people you're going to work with. Call some members. Get a feedback of what that club feels like. He just walked in blind. So far, he's still there. I hope it's working for him, right? But it bothered me that he wasn't comfortable to say, hey, I think I'm ready for this next step. Can you help us? So this is about getting our managers, our leaders, and you all to ask those questions and go bigger, right? In other things, we've asked about what you want to do after this, right? What would you do if you left the WAC was a big question we discussed. What do you do right now? All the clubs close. Who do you call? We're going to talk about that today. Who's your go-to people? So that is the why, right? You want to leave, you want to move up, or you want to get out of here, right? This is a third of the 4 things like that. We've talked about social media last time, and we talked and how to do professional social media. We talked about how to get better certifications, what to add to your career, certifications, joining community groups, all of those things. So those will come up. I'm getting to the point by the 4th one that this is all going to combine into one thing. So that's sort of where we're at. I'm going to start with my story, and then Ray's going to come up and tell you a story. We're going to have story time with Ray Lee. Okay? this is pretty simple for me, and I've mentioned it before. I lost my real job. It's been 6 or 7 years. I got a phone call floating on a pink flamingo in a little pool in my backyard, one of those you put up for your kids in the summer, and it always falls apart. Found out that my club was closing. I didn't get fired. They actually shut the doors and locked them 30 days after I got this. I got a text from a member, right? I had 3 young kids, and I'm floating. I'm listening to a Brewers game. I got Bob Uecker on. It's a good day. My phone goes off. Very awkward. Friend of mine just found out. You need to know this. They just sold your club, and they're closing in 30 days. Didn't even come from a manager. So I went from best day in the world to holy shit, what do I do with myself? Sorry, I may swear. That's one. That's where sort of all this came from. So after I cried a lot, I got mad, I got angry. I was angry at the world for a while. Then I made a rule. I'm going to say yes to everything. Okay, great rule. Anybody that called me, I had a lot of people fortunate in my world that reached out to me wanting to help me. How do I get the next job? How am I doing? Basic stuff. I had coffee and lunch with 100 people. People I didn't even know. I would get connected to other people. Hey, I got this friend. They have this. Would you want to talk to them? Most of them turned out to be not scams, but unproductive other than meeting nice people. One guy just wanted to sell me insurance. I thought we were going to talk about a potential job situation, and it turns out halfway through coffee, I'm like, all he's trying to do is sell me something. I'm like, do you know I don't have a job? I don't have the money to buy that stuff. Lots of lunches. What that led to for me, and I just put a list of things here, no particular order necessarily. Podland, I knew somebody who had one single tennis court. This happened to be at my old club. We named it Podland because the club I was at sold to a storage unit place, and they sold pods. So they left me one tennis court, and I leased it with someone else. Started to make a little money, keep my relationships in the tennis world. So I had that for a bit. From there, someone I coached sent me a link to a job opportunity to coach college tennis at a school I had never heard of, didn't even know it existed. Bryant and Stratton College. Anybody heard of it? In Tosa? Didn't even know it was there. It was a listing in the paper or something. And someone sent it to me and said, what do you think? I'm like, I'll call him. Interviewed, had the job in a week. So I built another little piece, college coaching. Okay, I liked it a lot. VC stands for the Village Club. I got lucky. This is during COVID time. Village Club is a club in Greendale, 10 tennis courts, pool, kind of a community place. The tennis director there, who I knew well, he'd been there for 30-some years, decided that he didn't believe tennis should be played during COVID. He was in that group of, concerned about it for him and his family, and he quit. The club told him, we're going to run like COVID doesn't exist. He quit. They called me because I knew the guy on the board. He's like, how do you feel about COVID? I said, in my moment right now, I don't care. I'll take the job. Right? Another little piece. PB, pickleball. I got offered because I had dabbled and done a lot of stuff in pickleball before it became popular. I got a call. Somebody heard that I did pickleball, offered me a job traveling around the Midwest to train other coaches on how to teach it. So all these little things came from humans. I didn't go out and search for them. They sought me out. And the whack is last. I got a friend named Denny, called me one day. He said, you need to talk to this lady named Ann. And I don't know who Ann is. I obviously know her now. He's like, I think you guys would get along. So I called this Ann out of the blue. I'm like, hey, Denny said we should be friends. Drove out to Lake Country. We chatted and hired me part-time that day. And the cool part was with Ann, and some of you work with her, she never asked me anything about what I wanted or what I needed. She told me, I've heard about you. You have a good reputation. We think you'd be a good fit. There was no negotiating, no how many members are you bringing, any of that stuff. So all of these things, I lost my job, ended up because these people helped me. I spelled coffee wrong. Have you guys been looking at that?
See, I knew what you meant, so it didn't matter.
I can't believe I went the whole time and you guys didn't tell me that.
See, I stopped taking notes. That would be funny.
Like, this dude can't spell. How would I listen to him about this stuff? So that's kind of where it all came from a little bit. So this is very, very random, but that's my story of why I'm in this room. And Anne challenged me once to do a whack you years ago. Then she left for a bit, and I still hadn't done it. And I sort of promised her that I know you're leaving, you're not my boss anymore, but I will still do one. And today I believe it's my 8th or 9th one, so they can't. Now she's going to tell me to please stop. Right? You ready? Hers is more important than mine. I'll give you a brief. Rayleigh has been at the WAC far longer than me. At our club, she is everything to us. Every one of you needs one of her in your club. And I want her to tell you her story about how she ended up in this room today doing, right? So I'm going to hand it over to Ray. You didn't even put your story on the board.
No,
Rayleigh. Go for it. Tell me your
Okay.
story.
Cool. It's not as dramatic as his, though.
I'm very dramatic.
I know. Yeah, so I was kind of on what you guys call like the bridge gap jobs. And I had a college friend who was working as an opener at what was Lake Country Racquet and Athletic Club. And she called me and she was like, they're looking for someone, I guess what would be called like a front desk team lead now. But they're looking for someone to be, a manager assistant. Like, I want you to be my manager, you should apply. So then I applied. So I guess she didn't hate me as a college roommate too much to come and work with her. And then I worked there. I managed the front desk for like 4 years. And then the owners there, we were kind of moving towards a different position. So I trained someone to take my job. And then they weren't letting go of those responsibilities. So because I loved the members and the staff and the environment, I stayed on as an opener, but then went and worked for a member for a little bit, just with those connections there. And then we sold, hindsight of why they didn't let go of those things, they sold to the WAC. Then I got to meet Deb Orr, if anybody knows her, before she retired. And I got to come back and work with the front desk and help with training and just new staff as they transitioned from being Lake Country Racquet and Athletic Club to being the WAC. And from there, I got to be an enroller. Are you checking my notes to see if I'm losing it? This is my favorite thing to do. I got to be an enroller. I got to be then kind of transition to be a member champion, just with my relationships with the members and everything to get them settled as they walked into the door. Then we lost our gal who ran the kids club, and I got to do that for a little bit to kind of help clean up and shape what we wanted that to be. Which is where kind of my skills are. And then when we needed more kid growth in it, once like the actual thing was good, then we passed it along to somebody else. And then pickleball came along and we needed someone to tackle that job. And I raised my hand for that. And now that's what I do. And Scott dragged me out here.
You do more than pickleball, right?
But I get to help with tennis leagues. I just get to dabble. I get to help people be successful and dabble in all those things and help people succeed where they need help.
You can say that.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I convinced her to come here. She does not like this, but you're doing great. Isn't she doing great?
Yeah.
So she used some words I wrote down. She used the word more multiple times when she explained her story. Right? Because knowing Ray like I do, she's multiple things. She's willing to take on more, right? And more could also be my say yes to everything, which you have, right? As you guys are thinking about this, are there things you could do more of in your path here? And you don't have to answer, but think about it. Is there something else that you could add that maybe doesn't exist in your department? I know there is. I know some people in here, and I know Dee has big ideas, right? We've chatted. She's got a long list of things she wants to do and is doing. She used the word asked, right? She asked for things as well. How does your supervisor, GM, the person above you, know that you want to do more if you don't ask them? Right? I ask for things all the time. I don't really ask. I throw out, Ken, what do you think? Right? No, it's usually, I've got an idea. That's how we start things at our place, right? How many of you have thrown out to your bosses ahead of you have got an idea? You should do it every day. You should do it every week. If it hits you, what's the worst they can do? I have had some really dumb ideas. Some of them failed miserably. All I care about is that one works at some point. That works, I go on to the next one. She's great at those things about seeing problems and asking why do we do it this way. Maybe that's why you and I get along. We both ask the same thing. But think about more. What can you do in your current position that maybe it pushes you to what you want to be in the next one? I'm going to give you a little test. It's not really a test. So, who's Caroline?
College.
She's your college one,
yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
She mentioned Caroline. She mentioned Deb Orr. Did you talk about Sarah?
That was membership.
Right.
Yeah.
Sarah Rennekamp. Again, I'm getting to a theme, and it'll be up. It's up there on the board somewhere. Who do you know? And if you notice, she listed off multiple people, right? Anne being a big one as well. Using the people that are in your world above you, have authority, can make decisions. That's what a lot of today is about, is using those people. Why did those people choose you? Why did they say yes to you to let you do things? Why do you think? And you don't have to be humble. You can say because you're a badass.
Because I like to see a problem and fix it.
All right. That's good. Wouldn't any manager want to hear that from their employee? Here's a problem. I have a solution. Let's go. Right? Again, she's great at it. Is that the same reason Sarah chose you and Liz chose you and all these others?
Sarah probably because of the just front desk background relationships with those current and incoming members.
Cool. She's missing all the big ones. Right. Number one, she's kind to people. That's it. I put that above everything for all of us. Right? Everybody in this room has the job because you must have been nice to somebody at some point. Because if you were mean to people, you would not work at an athletic club where kindness is number one, right? Keep that. That's number one. None of these great people that she listed off are going to say yes to her if she didn't show for years of kindness and caring about the WAC's core. What is it? The core values? Is that what we have here? I don't know them, but I'm assuming kindness is in there somewhere, right? Wouldn't it be? No? Health?
Well, kind.
I know the basics.
Kind. Yeah. Good.
I know there are the basics.
Nobody's reciting them, so
right,
you're
good.
okay.
We're not testing me on that stuff. But her story's great to me because she did all these, I guess, not smaller, but not manager level jobs, and she kept adding to it, right? That's a story I found at the WAC it's not hard to do. I started as a part-time, I was teaching, 5 hours a week in the evenings. That's it. And then I got some more, and I got some more, and then I kept leaving in the summer to go to my summer club, and I started to like it. And so Ann and I talked about it, and she asked if I'd be interested in full-time and what that would look like, right? And it was because I showed up on time, I did my job, I was nice to people, I think. I don't remember those days. But I think that's number one for us is if you want to go to your GM and say, I see a problem and I've got a solution, I would like to take this on. If you don't have a track record of building relationships, kindness to the members, behaving the way we're supposed to behave in front of people, all those yeses that she got, it might show up as no's. So I would just put that as overriding number one thing. So we're going to make a list. You guys got pen, paper, something to write on? We're going to try to get you to make 3. You can put your list on the board too.
Oh.
It'll be fun. We'll work together, right? You're going to bet.
Probably try.
Think about 3. Let's go 3 people that you would call today if you either lost your job or had enough of where you're at in the WAC and you want to move up, right? Who would be your phone call? This was a challenge for Ray. It took her a while. And I got mad at her because she didn't say the right
You
way.
said not at the WAC.
Do your best. Think about, let's do outside the WAC first. WAC's too easy, right? So mine's easy. I have 3 people I call my buddy Jeff. I do not make an adult decision without his feedback. I call my other buddy Dan, the smartest dude I know. I do not make decisions without him. And I call Flamer. That's my college tennis coach. He's in multiple Hall of Fames, so we used to call him Flamer, and it's turned over years to Flamer. So if you walked in today, I would call him. These three people in my life, I don't make decisions without them. I'm looking at jobs. I'm looking at anything significant in my life. I call them first. They are my personal go-to, will not steer me wrong. They know me best. So I want you to make a list. Can you think of three people? Ray would call her dad.
Good.
Yeah, you can do put parents as one. If they're on your list, yeah, go for it. Right? And then think out of that, who's your go-to? Right now, Ann walks in, all your GMs walk in and say, you're all buyers. Get out that door.
What's the goal of the three people to help get a job or emotional support or
Both. Like these three, they will let me cry first. They'll let me be angry. And then they're going to say, get your shit together. This is what happened to you. Stop effing around. Yeah, I did it. I didn't say it.
Yeah.
Right? So whatever that means to you, I don't want to choose that person for you, but somebody that can, maybe they turn you in the right direction. Okay? If you don't have three, write two. If you've got 18, you don't have to write all 18. Speaking of 18, because I like to go off topic, did anybody see the story with the LA Marathon yesterday? Did you see it? It's driving me crazy. So the LA Marathon, if you've ever done one or a half, any long distance, it's a beast. You have to be disciplined, trained for months. And I've done a couple and tons of halves. It's really hard. I'm very proud that I've done those in my life. The LA Marathon decided if you get to mile 18, you can quit and we'll still give you your medal. Yeah, it's a big story yesterday. And so the people that have done the full 26.2 are like, what? Really? If I run two, can I just give me my finishing medal? I just thought it was absolutely insane. If you ever run a marathon, don't quit at 18. Finish the time. Then I'm trying to figure out the type of person.
How many people finished at 18?
There's been no info on that. That's the big question. How many people actually did it?
I bet they kept running.
Yeah, so you could, if they said if you're having a bad day at mile 18, you can pull off.
I bet there was a psychological test. And it's
I don't know,
statistic.
but it made me crazy. Anyway, sorry, off topic. I do that. Yeah, because I've also done 4 of them, so I know how hard 26.2 is. 18 is not hard. 20 to 26 is the worst thing you've ever done.
Yeah.
If you're a runner, it's just awful, right? If you've done one, those last 6 will kill you. And so they're like, you don't have to finish. It drives me nuts. So, in your work today, go all the way. Don't stop. Everybody got a list? Anybody want to share one person you wrote? No?
Parents.
Who you got?
Oh yeah, one is my mom. Another is one of my college professors. She helped me get my first job out of college.
Awesome. Perfect.
I said my parents.
Parents, great.
And I have a group chat of like 10 friends, so I'll just send little texts in there. See
Awesome.
who bites.
That's great.
I have my 8th grade homework teacher that I'm still friends with today.
No way.
She's always been in my life ever since I was really little, so I feel like she'd be a great person to kind of.
My friend Molly Cork, I worked for her for Paul Mitchell. She wrote a franchise. And then when COVID hit, we had to shut down the business in Madison. And then from there, we did a lot of major things in Madison, which was great business-wise. And then she said, don't worry, I'll get you a job in Milwaukee at MPS. So then I got a job at MPS and we rebranded all the marketing for 3 schools and we always collaborate. And so moving forward, we always collaborate on everything. So
Great.
she's a good business mentor and a friend.
Awesome. Use these people. I mean, I don't really make any decisions anymore without asking multiple people. Ray has seen me when I have an idea. I go and I have this trick. Everybody knows it now. I collect yeses. This will work from like a dozen people before I take it to the person that has to sign off on it. I do it with Tim every time I want to make some change. I go and get every manager on board. Then I go to the person who I know is going to be tough. I'm like, listen, I got 15 people that already signed off on this. What do you think? So they cannot say no. Right? They want to, and they get angry that I didn't go to them first. But it typically gets the job done. Right? So we got some people that you would go to. Let's get rid of outside of work. The wax stays open, you keep your job, but you're unhappy. Or not even unhappy. You like it here, but you're in a place that you want a little bit more. Right? You're in member services, but you'd really like to try out a GM path, right? Who would you go to in the WAC? So pick a couple of people in your WAC world that you would go to. I would do, and for sure, I would do my friend Ray.
Hey,
That's true. I'm not just lying because you're standing in front of me.
thanks.
Is the L capitalized?
Ooh, it is.
It's Ray Lee. Look how many different ways I can
Oh
write.
my god.
Wait, I'm gonna do cursive now.
There we go. That's nice.
I think that's
Now
pretty
it
good.
sounds like how you say it. Right, like.
Riley. I would do Lori. Gloria. Right? So those are three. There's more, but those are three. I probably would, honestly, Ann and Ray would do the same conversation. Right? I would go to them. I've been the adult tennis manager. I'm liking it, but it's not that hard. It's actually not that hard. Right? That's why I'm here, because I like these kind of things to supplement that stuff. And I would say to them, I'm getting a little bored. Right? I need a little bit more. And how do I do that? Like, Ann, how do I get your job? Right. Ray, you know me. Where do I work? I asked you once if I would work in member services.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what you told me?
No.
It was like a no way. Yeah. She didn't think I could do member services. Like member sales. No, that was memberships.
Mhm.
Right? Yeah. Why is that? Why'd you tell me that?
You'd be great on the tours. You would not do well with the back end.
See, she knows me. I could be in front of people. I agree. I've given some tours.
You would
too.
sell them and then be like,
Yeah.
now go to this person
In
for the
that
paperwork.
world, I think I can give it to her. I think I can explain the information and get them excited and show them the stuff. But as soon as that mountain of paperwork and checklists and everything that has to be done by the people in that world, I'd be, no, that's too much sitting in front of this desk. I can't do it. Right? So she's not wrong at all. That would not fit for me. Unless they had a job that was just like reader. Welcome to the club. Right? So she'd be somebody that could steer me to the right direction. That wouldn't be a good fit. And she's 100% right on that. Anybody want to share who you would use in the WAC? You have anybody? Who's your go-to?
I'd go to Liesel.
Nice.
I'd go to Dan, our general manager. I'm at North Shore, and I'd go to Ian Casper.
All people connected, right? Those three people, they can help you. One of them is going to be able to help you, right? And connect you with the next person. All good. Anybody else? Who's your go-to?
Probably be Lori.
Good one. She's on my list too. Yep. Anybody else? Go.
I'm a trainer, so next step for me, thought process wise, is fitness manager. So I go to my current fitness manager setting. And also, I feel very comfortable going to Logan. I know that he's helped a lot of people find the right spot for that. So
I found that too, that here at the WAC, people want us to succeed. I know that may not be the case for every single employee here. It's been my experience that every time I've asked for something, someone has helped me at least connect me with the person who could do that for me, or tell me what steps do I need to do, what do I need to learn, all of those things. And so the people you all named, they'll help you. You think they're going to say, I can't believe you asked to be a better employee and do more, right? If they did, you better get your resume ready because you're working in the wrong company. If you ever go to someone and you tell them that you're ready, you want more, I don't know how to get there, I need help, and they say, nope, I ain't helping you, you suck. Walk out, right? I know you can't just walk out. But this place I found in my experience at LC and outside doing some things now at other clubs, that's the kind of world we live in. It's great. I've worked at 8 different clubs. Not a single one is even close to this. Many of them are selfish, all about money. I was at a club that the meetings were no fun. Everything was about how much money did you make? What do your numbers look like? It was none of this kind of thing. And if you failed, it sucked, right? That's not where we are right now. So I'm obviously encouraging you to use these people in your life that can help you. And people like to help each other, I think, right? I ask for help all the time. I struggle with sometimes letting people help me. I feel like it's kind of a burden on them. I have to improve on that and understand. I had someone tell me once, I got nominated for some award, and I knew what it was, and I didn't think I was qualified, and honestly didn't really want it. It didn't fire me up. I knew some people who had won it previously, and I didn't think they were great. So, but someone told me, and then I pass this on now, that them nominating you, you have to go through that process. It's about them wanting to do something kind for you, and if you say no, I don't want to mess with it, it's not fair to them. So when you ask, they want to help you. I would think it was cool. I'd love it when people come. If anybody would ever come ask me for help, I would help them for sure. What can we do for you to make this better? So you've got your list of people. So each time we do these, and we're not done yet, but homework, not scary homework. You made a list. I'm just going to challenge you in the next month. Talk to one of them from either list. Just reach out to them with any concerns you have currently in your job here at the WAC. What you wanted. I mentioned in the last couple of WAC years that my number one thing in my life, if I could do it, was to open a coffee shop. I just chill all day, drink coffee, probably lose a fortune because I just hang out with the clients and give out free coffee. But I have some people in my life that if I ever got to the point where I want to pull the trigger on that, I know exactly who I'm going to talk to. Part of it is because I go to so many freaking coffee shops. I'm a regular and know a lot of people. I'd probably go to work for one of them first. Find somebody on that list that maybe fits something in your ideas right now that you might want to do, and pick one out that this person would help you get there. So it's the WAC thing. You've got a program you want to start. Who on that list from your WAC list would be the one to go to, and just throw it out there and see what their response is. Right? If you're in a place like some of us can get it, jobs, and you're stuck, go to your personal list. Right? Call your 8th grade homeroom teacher. Is that what you said? Call her up. Say, hey, I really like my job, but I've got these ideas. I'm feeling a little restless. What do you think I should do? There are people. If you wrote them down, you trust them, right? You trust them to help get you in that place. So call one of them, text one of them, email one of them with something that is maybe applies to what we've discussed so far today, if that makes sense. Plus, it never hurts to connect with people. You don't want to lose those. I think you've got to keep those connections. Ray Lee and I go to coffee. We're probably due. I'm thinking after this. So I've got a couple other, again, connection stories. So Annie and Molly, those are my daughters, right? Annie came home from California about 1.5 years ago. She moved out there after high school, packed the car up, left. Made it, survived 2 years in LA, was pretty much by herself. She's awesome. Good for her. Then she came home, she'd had enough, didn't have a job. And in high school, she had done some shadowing of our family dentist. She was somewhat interested in it. So she has no money. She's living back in her house. She's 20 years old. We gotta figure this out because this isn't gonna work for us. I call a former colleague of mine, a tennis coach. He's not a dentist, but his wife is. And I called Ira, and we hadn't talked for a while. I'm like, hey, I need to pay for my daughter's looking into the possible dental world or dental assistant or hygienist. Next day, my daughter's having coffee with his wife. Day after that, she's interviewing with his wife's friend who's hiring dental assistants. 2 days later, she's got a full-time job. She didn't know any of it. She owes me big time. What parents do, right? She's still there. She's been there over a year. She's also working with us at Lake Country a little bit, good stuff and social media stuff. But she had nothing, and she asked me, and I like thinking, oh yeah, I know this guy. What? It worked. Those connections. They interviewed her and hired her on the spot. Right. One, they were desperate. Apparently, they're having need for dental assistance if anybody wants to change careers. And her path, going by herself to LA and packing her little dumpy car up and surviving, they liked that. She had no experience.
That's
Take
impressive.
some courage.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah.
I talked to her dentist, and like she knew nothing about the industry, but we knew that she could do that at 18 and come home and still be a normal human after 2 years in LA, which is not a place I enjoy. So that journey of hers helped her tremendously. That plus the connection of this time just happened to be her dad got her a job. She's still at it, doing well, really likes it. My daughter, she's a little younger, junior at West Dallas Hale. She's decided she wants to be a police officer. Did I tell you that?
Mhm.
Yeah. My son's in the military. I don't know how he got kids who want to like save the world. It's not me at all. She wants to be a cop. It terrifies me. Last week, she's like, Dad, do you know any? Like, only the ones who pulled me over. Right? Turns out one of our members is an ex-cop in Milwaukee and was a student of mine at a former club for years. I just had forgotten he was retired. We sat in the lobby at LC last week, and I'm just like, Johnny, what does she do? He got all excited, went in cop mode, like fired up. Because for him, helping a young person who actually wants to go in to the police force right now, which is pretty scary, he got all fired up. He gave me exactly where she needs to go to school, what she needs to do, exact timeline. I mean, he wrote it out for me, everything she needs to do. He also connected me with the police chief of West Dallas. So she's got a meeting with the police chief in a couple of weeks. Just a chat, ask questions. All because I knew somebody. My daughter's only 18, right? But it's two great stories of young people who needed that help, right? I'm not a young person anymore. We still need that help. I'm going to take all the help I can get from people. I just really like those stories about two people who used connections. If you take out that I'm their dad and they use mine, I could be anybody. But it's all connected in some form, right? Clients and members. Do we use them for help? Would you talk to a member if you were unhappy with your job?
There's some I could talk to.
Why? See, I'm putting you on the spot. This is not-
Because yeah, we have a good relationship and I trust them.
Did you hear that word? Why do you trust them?
They just give off
So
that
much fun
vibe.
for me,
It's
'cause-
God.
The trust is a big word, right? Do you use members? If you're a trainer, you're training someone, and tennis coaches have it too. We talk a lot. I know a lot about our members and their lives. You get pretty close to people. Are you willing to say, hey, I've been here a while, love training you, I'm feeling kind of stuck, I think I want something else. How do you know? She says she trusted them, right? How do you know whether you can trust them? And they don't go to your GM and say, hey, I was just training and they just told me they don't like it here and they want to quit and they don't think you're any good. Are you willing to take that risk? See some head shakes, right? I am. Our whole club knows everything about me from the tennis side. I'm yapping all the time about everything in my life. I have cried in front of them and been angry in front of them. I'm also of a certain age where I just don't care anymore. It's okay. It doesn't bother me anymore. My advice is make sure 100% that your relationship with the member it's both ways, right? Because you may think, I might think Dee and I were buds. She's been training me for a while. She knows my kids. She knows my life. She may think, I don't really like Scott that much. I just come here because there's nobody else available, right? you've got to make sure that those goes the same way, and whatever keys you need to know that are important, right? Have they shared with you as much as you shared with them, right? When you tell a personal story, do they ever respond with one of their own, or are they just always taking in from you? I think those are things you can think about as you go. I've got some people that know for years, know me and my family and what I do and all these things. I've got others that I tell things, and I recognize they're not telling me anything. So we're not living in the same world. They're still totally fine. They're just not comfortable with that. So I caution you, but I wouldn't avoid it. If you feel like it's right, I think you can do it. Ray Lee had members give her a puppy. Right? Yeah, that's how good she is. People bring her puppies. Anybody ever brought you all a puppy to work? Yeah, she got a puppy.
No.
Still has it, right? Yeah.
She's still there.
Yeah. Is it Callie?
Kelly.
Callie. Yeah. So I'd say she could probably trust those numbers if they're willing to, right? Bring her that.
That means they trust her, for sure.
100%. Right? That's the kind of impact like our staff around all clubs can have on people. I have never had anybody bring me anything like that. When BlackBerry, I'm aging myself. Anybody remember the BlackBerry?
Yep.
Yeah.
I
All
got
right.
one.
I got a couple. It was like the first almost.
I thought it was so cool.
Oh, it was
My
awesome.
boss having one.
Yes, it had a roller, like a
Yeah.
mouse on it.
Yeah.
And then those mouse, they got real dirty and they stopped rolling. And I had a member give me a BlackBerry. When they came out, that was like serious, right? But I knew them and their family, and I taught their kids and knew them a long time, and like it was incredibly nice. Better than a puppy because I didn't have to take care of that puppy. On the bad end, she had to walk out of the club that day with a puppy. You all, if you have dogs, you know how much work that is.
What's the story behind the puppy? They literally just came from you.
Yeah, I don't.
Or how did that
There is a member, so that we call them the geezers. They're an early morning group of tennis players. So I used to work a lot of early mornings, so I just knew them and their coffee chat and whatever. I was getting married, so like it wasn't like out of nowhere, but it was an early wedding gift. It was a very,
It's like giving you a
early-
kid for a wedding gift. Like it's kind of harsh, isn't it?
But I mean, it was very sweet. I had like 12 grandpas with big, huge smiles on their faces, like presenting me this puppy. It was adorable. Yeah, and then I had to be like, guess what I have?
So you didn't ask for it or anything?
No.
That's wild.
No. It's a very high risk gift.
Yeah.
I did have a dog.
Oh,
So it wasn't like we were coming out of like no experience. But yeah, it was out of left field.
That's a great.
We love her, she's perfect.
Yeah.
What about current employees? Would you be willing to talk? Like, would I have a conversation with one of our other tennis staff about my need to do something else, to be better, leave, take their job? How do you deal with other employees? Do you have any employees you may like but you would not share these things with? I think we probably all do. I'm close to you, but I know that if I tell you this, give it a half an hour, and every employee in this building knows what I just said. Right.
And there are those people.
Yeah. So I think you got to be real selective on those people. I know that I can tell Ray Lee pretty much anything, and it's not going anywhere. I think.
They're still there.
We're gonna find out.
Still there.
I'm gonna say something real bad about somebody in this room and see if she takes it back to. Yes. I think it's the same thing, right? If I know we get pretty tight with people you work with every day, but there's, as my son would always say, levels, bro. You guys ever heard that? That was like a high school thing. He'd say levels. I still don't know what it means.
Hierarchy. That's what I would
Yeah, something like that. But can you think of one or two people that you can have these conversations with that are fellow employees that you're comfortable it does not go to someone else?
It's called a bitch buddy.
I like it.
I worked for Paul Mitchell and you always had a bitch buddy at your level in the hierarchy.
Right.
And you could go to them and you both confidentially use each other as a sounding board, and you know that you have an agreement that it's not going to go anywhere else.
I love it. We need to start that program with the WAC. WAC BB. The WAC Bitch Buddies. New idea. I just stole it from you.
No problem.
I'll give you full credit though when we start a whole program.
Seal
Right.
whenever necessary. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. She said confidential. Just make sure you know it is, because whatever you tell that person, you've got to know that it's not getting to anyone else, right? And be clear with them. If I have a conversation with Ray, I will be like, "This is for us only." Okay, doesn't go to anybody else, because you can get yourself in serious trouble that way. Word gets around super quick. But think about those things. Do you trust them really, really well? Do you have clients, members who can help you? Maybe you don't want to confide in them, but you find a unique way. Let's say I want to start selling cars. I had a lesson this morning with Todd Reardon. He owns multiple car dealerships. I could go to him and be like, I love my job. I'm good with people. I'm in front of people all day. All I do is yap. I sell a healthy lifestyle and tennis lessons. What do you think? Could I do this in your business? Right? I would trust him. I would trust too that even if he told somebody about it, it wouldn't bother me, because I didn't say I hate my job. Watch your language, right? I'm not saying, Todd, this black place sucks. I hate the GM. Ray Lee doesn't know what she's doing. Could I sell cars? It's not how you approach it, right? The delivery is important, but do you have clients, members that you're close with that can help you with that next thing? There always is one. If we wanted to be a doctor, we would be set. Our club is full of them everywhere, right? Except I think you have to go to school for that.
Yeah.
That's not going to work. So I want you to, on your list, try to think of 2 members or employees that you would confide in. On my list, these are members: Judy, Sue, Jen, and Laura. 4 people I could call right now and say, I'm sick of this place. I got to get out. Can you guys help me? I might call the police if I said it like I was being held hostage. But think of a couple people, non-employees, that you could have a connection with that might help you for the next thing, right? That are not going to blab. I think you should have 1 or 2. I've got a ton. I don't honestly care if they blab. Will they want something in return? It's a big question to ask. I've got people that I know, if I ask them, at some point they're going to come back to me and say, hey, remember when I hooked you up with that? My forehand's been a little rusty. You think we could hit some balls? And that is their way of telling me we're going to do this for free and I owe them. Don't pick anybody that you think would have a need for, you have to owe a debt to. There's some crazy people in the world. Okay, I think about that as you go. How are you going to handle it when it goes wrong? I tell a member. That member turns out is best friends with our GM, Shannon. Shannon hears I'm unhappy. Now I'm in the office and might get fired. Finally. So you've got to watch. You got to know how to handle it if it doesn't go the way you want it. Because it could go wrong. All kinds of stuff can. But just be selective when you choose those people. But don't be afraid to choose them. If you trust them, go for it. Right? I think a good trait is trusting people. And if they screw you over, then there's a lot of nice people in this room you can be friends with, right? There's more out there. Think about going to someone who used to be in that role. Maybe you've got a manager or someone above you that's now gone. They don't work for the WAC anymore. You took their job, right? Or left the club and went to another place, so they're not in your building anymore. Those are people you can talk to. I think here at the WAC, people leave and go to another club all the time. It's Ann and Sarah were both at Lake Country, right? I can go talk to both of them about Lake Country things because they are no longer in the building. They're not connected. They're not going to be involved. It's a good person to have. So if you've got people who maybe were here at your club and moved, got a promotion, went to another club, they're good people to talk to because there's pretty limited chances they're going to be able to sort of get a lot of drama going I got Anne Ray Lee. Almost done. So this is a big one I always put up here. All of this doesn't really matter unless you know what you want to do. I told you I want to have a coffee shop. I want to be on. I want to have I always wanted to be on the radio. Right? Yeah. Let's do a show. You and I.
I was told I stole my words.
It's all right. Won't bother me.
I know.
We call it
That was a
Bitchin'
long time ago.
Buddies. That's what we.
There
We've
you
got a new
go.
show, Bitchin'
Got a
Buddies, and we just go on and bitch about stuff.
Yeah.
I'm in.
About people that make wrong decisions, not hire me
We
on
just-
radio.
we just started it, right? So with all of these things and what we've talked about, I think these are easier if you know where you want to be. I know multiple things. I told you this isn't my last stop. I don't think it is. I think I got one more in, right? But there's things I want to do. I want to have my coffee shop. I like chatting. I'd love to have a radio show. I want to write a book. Got like 6 books in the works. I'll probably never finish any of them, but I'm gonna keep trying. Think about what would be next for you, whether it's in this building, in another WAC building, or outside of here. The WAC helped you get to that point. And I mentioned why we're here. A lot of it is, I believe, I'm trying to get some of our WAC people above me to believe, we should be perfectly fine when people leave us and go other places. We should celebrate it at a party. Because that means that we're training so well and creating such a great culture of kindness and community and helping people that other places want to steal us. I think that's a
It's a
positive.
compliment.
Yeah, I want it. It is. I want that, and I don't always. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I said it when Ann was in one of these. I don't think we do that. I think we hold on to our best people so freaking tight, and then they eventually get like, "Let me go. I got to get out of here." I'd rather be like, "Ray, you're as good as we've ever had. Let's get you out of here. We're too small for you. You need to be leading. You need to be. There's more for you." And throw her a big party where I would cry like a freaking baby if Ray ever left. But that's what this is all about. Is hopefully it's positive that we want to create some culture that you want to go. Let's go. Let's train you up. Let's make you the best GM ever going to go out there. You're going to go work for somebody else, but you're going to start training people like we do, right? And then when you have somebody good, maybe you send them to us. So all of this is based on that idea of all these connections make us better. I want people to call me and be like, "I'm going to steal your pros. You guys are good. I'm going to take every single one of them. Let's go." I also think turnover is great. And I can speak only for tennis. We need new coaches. We need it consistent because the members get tired of us too. I've been here 4 years. There's got to be somebody who's like, "Oh, I got this guy again," right? We bring in, like we just brought in Joe Kim, big personality, loud, happy, probably going to get himself in trouble at some point. Big energy for us, right? Losing someone on your team, it's not terrible. Because guess what you're going to get? You're going to get somebody new. You're going to get somebody with some new ideas. You're going to get somebody maybe a little bit more motivated and hungry because they're new to it, right? I don't think turnover is bad. I think it's bad if everybody quits at once because they're terrible, right? But if we train Lucas up to be the greatest member services team member ever, and we start getting phone calls from every place, that's awesome. Be pumped. Let's go get you the most money and the best fit, right? To celebrate when people leave. So I would encourage you, do your homework, reach out to one of those people, just check in if you got any good ideas. If you want to do more, like Ray Lee said, ask for it. I know most of your GMs. I can't think of any that would be like, "No, I hate that. I don't want anybody doing any more here. Let's just stay exactly where we are." That's a red flag that we talked about before. Let me look at my magic board. What are those? Oh, is those yours?
Yeah.
Oh,
You
okay.
told me to write them
Yeah.
down.
Wait, did I make the list?
Yeah.
That's good. All right. I think that's it. Any questions for me or Ray? All right, I'm gonna give you more homework. Anybody get the puppy? You have to tell right? We want to know right away
Too.
if you all get a puppy.
I didn't give him all away or something.
Nope, I've got my own, and I do not want another.
What's ironic is one of my clients is trying to sell puppies.
Really?
Oh my gosh, in Midtown.
I would die.
In Midtown, they sell people.
Somebody
Right
in
after
this group
pregnancy.
needs to get hooked up.
They're on the list of ones that I can't have.
When I coached
Sorry,
college,
allergy-wise.
I coached women's college. Really nice girls, liked them a lot. Still catch up with them, but one of our cats died during season, and I found out they were trying to keep it a secret. 18, 19-year-old girls looking at cats cannot keep that a secret. If you played any sports and you're all together all the time and in bands, and like I start hearing these things, I'm like, no, please. In my head, I'm like, don't do it, please don't do it. They got us a kitten, and I had to tell them, love you guys, but we're not ready for that yet. Right? We just lost ours, and my kids were a mess. Not ready for that. Kind of happy I got one less animal too. Love my cat, and we were considering our first puppy, right? So I had to politely tell them, listen, I love it, it's awesome. If you want to give a cat to somebody, find another family that's looking, but it can't be ours now. They meant well. Puppy would just have destroyed my life. Thank you guys. That's it. The only thing I need from you is you see those evaluation forms on your desks. There's some pens in the middle if you need one. You can just fill those out. You don't have to spend a lot of time on them. Just
The
write
sign-in
awesome
sheet.
real quick. I signed you all in.
Did? How do
Yeah.
you know my name?
I know it because of this piece of paper.
Okay.